Okay, so this one's a fun one because I've had a lot of friends that their son or daughter is getting done with high school and they're not sure exactly what they want to do, if they want to go to college, kind of working, for some retail outlet or making pizzas, delivering pizzas or whatever. And my saying is, why don't you go into the military? I happened to go into the Army when I was 17 years old. And, growing up in a standard household, you kind of have fun, you have friends, you get your license, you got a car. But going into the military changes you because there's things you go through from the time you show up for basic training. There's nothing like having somebody in your face telling you you got to get it figured out, and you meet some of the coolest people, all right, and you get to travel the world. I went to basic training at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. Still remember my drill sergeant. I remember his name. I remember his antics. I remember my roommates. And that was quite a while ago, right? Graduate from there, and I mean, when you're in basic training, you do a lot of things that you would never think you were going to do. Like diving through a water puddle to crawl through 10 feet on a cold day, right? They just make you do it. And it gives you a little bit of toughness, and it also changes your mental toughness. So it changes the way you think about yourself. I went to an advanced training with helicopter mechanic school. I'm 18 years old and I'm working on a pretty sophisticated piece of machinery. So that alone was a condensed version of getting me to my permanent party, which was Fort Lewis, Washington. And I was a crew chief on 2 helicopters the day I showed up. And so you grow quite a bit. You get that experience and you take responsibility for your actions and who you are. From there, I went to Germany. I worked in a heavy maintenance facility, totally tearing down helicopters down to nothing. And I specialized in a few things, but nonetheless, I think the ideal would be to join the Navy. It's a 4-year commitment. The reason I went in the Army is you could be a helicopter pilot with a high school diploma. And I thought that was a good idea, and then I just kind of wasn't into helicopters. But the Navy, if you're on a carrier in a technical position, avionics or whatever it is, you get to see the world. You have protocols all over, and it would be, I think, one of the best experiences. Anyway, I still keep in touch with a couple people that I was in the Army with. Very great experience. It gets you out of the house. It develops your character. It gets you on game that if, hey, you can go to college. There's the GI Bill, which helps out with the expenses of that. So I highly recommend it, whatever service that you would enlist in. If you're not sure exactly what you want to do, I highly recommend it. And that's the story for the day.